So, greetings from the Eccentric Man, and this video is going to be all about Roll Call and the British Historical Game Society that we went to the other weekend. It's a 1250 point army that you can take, and it's to a particular year or a particular theatre. I think mine 1940, 40-41. It's the Italians in Africa, and I've run with a rifle platoon and a tank platoon. My tank platoon, as you can see there, I've got two L640s and an M1440. So they're all light tanks. They've got 8+ armour. The bigger one's got the light anti-tank gun, and the other two have got light autocannon. I've got a medium howitzer with spotter, medium mortar with spotter, sniper, a second lieutenant, a veteran flamethrower team. My sniper's regular. I've got 2 units of 5 veteran stubborn paratroopers. I've got a unit of Bursula G and a unit of regular infantry, and I've got a unit of colonial scouts that came from the Duel in the Sun book. You upgrade them from inexperienced to regular, then you upgrade them again to scouts. This means that they can come on outflank on the rear table edge on turn 3. So Roll Call uses all the scenarios from the rule book, so there's a good chance that I might have a scenario where I can come up and pop up from the back. Also, I've got 3 sets of walls there that you can see, just in case I get attack a defender and win the defender. I can have up to D3 walled enclosures. So that's on my list that I took. It's quite a good little list. The paratroopers can either hold by going down, or they can be aggressive and attack. They're all armed with submachine guns, so there's a good lot of firepower. The flamethrower I normally put in with them. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention the truck at the back, and the truck goes with them. The artillery medium howitzer is there as a possible deterrent for direct fire. It doesn't do very much as a penetration, but it can do D3 pins, and that's quite useful if you can get it on a tank. It will stop it for that next turn, which is quite useful. The L640s, the light autocannons, they're good for taking on infantry and also infantry in buildings. The 1440, that's quite good for infantry. It's got 3 machine guns, 1 in the turret and a double machine gun in the hull. So that can put out quite a lot of firepower to cause people trouble. So the event is 5 games over 2 days, and sit back and see how I get on. I'll go through some tables. I did some videos on the day, look at the tables, look at each of my games, a brief overview of them and my opponent's armies, and then there's some pictures of the armies that were there, and that about wraps it up. So sit back and watch. So just arrived at Roll Call at Cranfield, and kicks off at 9. We're here a little bit early so we can have a time and go through the tables. So we've got the first one here. I should be playing on the train station. My first opponent, so it'll be No Man's Land, and we'll be playing, I think I'm playing Japanese. So yep, there's the station. Move over on the other tables. I think there's 22 players today. So townscape, sort of open fields and houses. City board. And obviously a sort of snowy Russian board. Have a walk across. There's a few more tables on the other end. So, yep, quite a nice, tranquil, farmy type place. Coming on to more Mediterranean. The dreaded big hill and the bushes. Sort of set up asymmetrical. And then back into another town one. And then final one in the jungles. So game 1, and I'm playing British Paratroopers Market Garden, and we're doing hold until relieved, and I'm the defender. Only got one set of walling over here, and I've set up 2 infantry squads, and then the paratroopers are on. Quite a lot of paratroopers and recce jeeps, so it should be interesting. So a very tight game this one for hold until relieved. You can see there the colonial troops to the left, and that is the objective that I had to hold. It was the little vineyard, and it really did be a difficult game. The big units of paratroopers, stubborn. If they get there, they will hold it. He had a flamethrower team within his paras as well, and a Piat team. So there was lots of little infantry units that could come and give me trouble. Good game it was. Lots of fighting, and managed just at the end to clear all the British paratroopers away from the objectives. So managed to hold it and get a win out of this one, which I was very pleased with. First game, managed to get a win. But as I say, it was a hard one, and David did play a good game with his British paratroopers. Did cause a lot of trouble. Fortunately, the Italians just managed to pip him at the end. But yeah, great game. And that was game 1 up. So moving on to game 2. Game 1 was quite good. Got a win, got 6 points because I got the win and I got the secondary objective. That was good. Now moving on to playing James. Not so confident I'll get this one much the same. There's James. James has the dubious pleasure of being the winner of a Cams Bridge Too Far. So using his similar list to his Soviets that he ran there, just a little bit more points this time because it's 1250. So running into this, Cityscape, and we're playing key positions. So we're going to start running in game 1. James's army is a real hammer list, and it really is. Stalingrad list, taking 2 units of assault engineers with the body armour, which means you need 6 to kill them with shooting if it's normal small arms, or 6 to kill them in hand to hand. Very difficult. Got a Katushka rocket firer to put pins on people, 2 Stuart 3s. What else? He had a Zis gun. Very difficult. As you can see here, I lost lots of troops, and he just took the positions from a headlong charge. Couldn't do anything with it. I had some really bad dice throws at the beginning, and that just then put me, I won't just say on the back foot, it just put me really, really deep in trouble. So yeah, James took a good win on this one. Only thing I can say is my colonials popped up and killed his heavy mortar, which was a bonus. So game 3, and I've picked up an incredibly bad opponent. You might recognise Andy from previous games. He's got his Russians. We're playing... look, there's that cheesemonger over there. Look at him. Going away, James. Look at him. God, terrible, terrible player. Awful. The worst player that I've ever known. He certainly did a number on me in the last game. He did really well. So yeah, we're playing Manhunt. I'm the defender. I've got 3 bits of walling. I've put a piece over there. Hopefully that will stop any vehicles coming on that bit. Blocked the road over here with my other bit, and got a bit here. But Manhunt's got confused reserves. So other turns they can come on at any board edge unless you've put something on it already. So it's going to be very interesting to see how we go. I had to set up 7 units in the middle, so I've done that, and his units start the game off board. And he's got to kill me officer. Got to try and keep him alive. Game 3, yeah, as we said, was Manhunt. Not a game that you often play. I was able to win the defender and set up, put a few walls in to cause a little bit of grief, and the aim was to keep my officer safe, which I did in the end, but it was a close run thing. We ran out of time. We only got through to turn 5, and my opponent Andy, who I play with quite a lot, he just couldn't kill. Well, he could possibly have killed my officer in turn 6 to get a draw. Wouldn't have been able to get him in hand to hand. So it's quite good. I've played this table before last year, and key things on this one, because of the big hill, because of the bocage, For me, on the defender, I've got to keep in that central third and always bring my troops on from my table edge. This one is confused fighting, so whichever table edge you bring your last unit on from, it locks it and the opponent can't come on that way. So that's what I had to keep doing. If I got the first dice each turn, unit on from my table edge at the back, and that locked it. Fortunately I was able to do that. He had a couple of rampaging Tokharovs, so that's a machine gun, 4 machine guns on a truck, and I managed to finally take one out, and one was done with a sniper, which was really good. Needed a 6, got a 6. So it was 4 to hit it, 6 to damage it, rolled a 6 to damage it, and then rolled a 6 on the damage table and blew it up. So I was really pleased with that. Don't think Andy was, but yeah. So that was a win to me. So finished day 1 on 2 wins and a loss. So that was quite good going into the next day. So day 2 at roll call, and we're playing Envelopment, and I'm playing against Adam, who's a friend and from our sort of club area. So we're having a game. Adam's got the US Marines. He's going to be an attacker. I'm defending. I've had to put 7 units down, and then there'll be a preparatory bombardment hitting me. So that'll be interesting, see what happens there. And we're going to turn 1 after that, and then we'll see where we go. So key for Envelopment is Adam's got to get troops into my deployment zone, which is 12 inches in, or get them off the board, and he gets extra points. I get a point for each US Marine unit that I kill. So we'll see how this stacks up. Game 4, and in my little intro video just before this, I talked about I get 1 point for each opponent's unit killed. I should really have read the victory conditions more carefully. It was 2 points for each unit of my opponent destroyed. This was a tough game against Adam, another club mate, and his Marines. The Buffalo had difficulty stopping it. I've only got light anti-tank and autocannons, and 7+ armour is difficult for them. So yeah, it really did come down to the wire. Because I thought that I was down, it was double envelopment, so it was getting points and different... Double envelopment? No, it wasn't. It was envelopment, just the single envelopment. So I threw in 3 units trying to kill one of his at the end, and I didn't need it to do it. So this is this is what you need to do. Read your objectives and the victory conditions carefully, because if I had realised it was 2 points each, I wouldn't have bothered. And I could have got a minor win, but I snatched the victory to snatched the defeat out of victory. That's it, by throwing away units I didn't need to. But it was a good game, really good game. So thanks very much, Adam. 1 up to you there. So on to our game 5. Final game of the day, and we're playing Demolition, and I'm playing Jackson from the States. Jackson's over here at university. Yep, university. He's over here, and he's been off to a few bolt action tournaments. You've probably seen him before on warhq.co.uk, and possibly off with the Wahoo Warriors. So a shout out to Sean from him. So yep, we'll get into our game. It's deploying one unit at a time at the moment. So off we go. Chat later. A very tough nut to crack is that Panther. And all Jackson's opponents up until this game had been not been able to take it out, and I'm wondering, what am I going to do with it? I've got armour 4, anti-tank with a 4 penetration. It's a veteran. It's 10 armour. So, what is it? Yeah, 10 armour. So I could possibly glance it with my little tank at close range, not at long range. It veteran, so it just brushes off the pins. So my medium howitzer has to hit it on the top of an indirect shot to have a chance. Or can I get my flamethrower team in? And that might have a chance of doing it, failing in the leadership test when it's on fire and the crew bailing. And that was my strategy for the game. I did manage to get an indirect mortar hit on the top on a lucky dice roll of 6, and then I rolled a 6, so it glanced, but I only made it stunned and passed its leadership test the next turn. However, it did come too close, and I managed to get my flamethrower team in. Didn't blow it up on the first time. He managed to pass his test, but I got the dice out first on the next turn. He couldn't kill me because I was behind the Panther, and blew it up that time. Managed to put more pins on it, 5 pins, and he failed his leadership test. A very hard.
So we've finished our game. We've packed it all up now, and we got an honourable draw, didn't we? Jackson managed to get the secondary objective. His army, we got down to real wire. I managed to take out the Panther, but how was it for you, Jackson?
You know what, truth be told, I think it was an exciting end to an exciting game. I was a little bit stunned that my Panther actually got blown up. I thought that I was on them just charge forward, mow everything down.
Yep.
But that flamethrower earned his points back and some.
He did, didn't he, that time?
I'm going to be honest, I like this tournament, I really do, but one thing I'm not liking about tournaments right here is Axis versus Axis. Like, they don't care about Axis versus Allied.
No.
And I'm like, that's a big thing we have in the States.
It is. That is the big difference, yeah.
And I as much as I enjoyed fighting the Italians, you know, I've played Germans before. I don't like fighting other Germans.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, and I think you're right. There are small tournaments which are themed, but the bigger ones, no.
I mean, I fought Japanese, I fought Italians.
Yeah. Yep.
I still had a lot of fun, and I got a Schwimmwagen.
A Schwimmwagen, excellent. Right, thank you, Jackson. It was a great game.
Alright, thank you so much.
Take care.
So here's a montage of the armies that were taking part. This was a Spanish Civil War, and it did very well. I think it came second. A nice British unit here. Yep, some more British commandos with Bren carriers and a buffalo. Another buffalo. These are the Marines from Adams. That was quite a nice little army. This was from Bruce Hamilton, 101st Airborne, and he dropped them in on the tables, which was to the amazement of all his opponents. Bruce is one for different type of armies, and this one certainly was different. But he did lose a few figures dropping them in, especially when they hit houses. But yeah, full marks to him for going that different army and having the balls to do it, really. So well done, Bruce. Good work. Next up, winter-based Soviets. Nice little bit of snow work on the bases there, so that's good. Next one up is based and themed on the movie. Wasn't running the 3 tanks this time around, just running that section on the right, so quite an expensive infantry unit. Very nice display board, very nice troops, very nice setup. Yep, top marks for that one. So, not sure how we did in the tournament, but very nice. Oddball tank, I think it is, from the film, and the infantry all set up for that. Some very nice pin markers that he's got there with the casualties. And all flocked and based. Get my teeth in for this. So, yep, good. Don't often see this. Sturm Tiger, veteran infantry. Looks like a little Panzerbusch down there. Yep, not sure how he did, but it was a gutsy army. Yep, so other ones here. This is a nice little army there. This is John's, my friends, his Americans. This one here is the tournament winner, which was James. He took top marks. And here is the best painted, a British Army with the 6 Stuarts. Some people might wonder how he managed this, or what he's got there. He's got a tank platoon of 5 Stuarts, and he has a rifle platoon with 1 Stuart. Therefore he was able to put in the 6. Very nicely painted, and as I say, it did take the top. So I finished the day, 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw. Put me in middle place, about 11th. So it wasn't so bad. If I'd managed to work out the objectives and victory conditions, it could have put me up to about 6th. So things to learn, things to remember. But yeah, a good 2 days meeting up with friends and having chats and fighting bolt action along the way. So hope you enjoyed the overview. Please give it a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, share with your friends if you think they would like it, because that's things that gets me more viewers and subscriptions. And until the next video, take care.